Hello students, so welcome to physics class. So today we are going to discuss about the grouping or combination of resistors. So in last class what we have discussed, just I will recall in a quick manner. So what is Ohm's law? So Ohm's law nothing but what? At constant temperature or under constant physical conditions, current in a conductor directly proportional to the applied potential difference between the two ends of a conductor. So by removing this proportion we are writing V equals to IR, where R is nothing but resistance of a conductor. Okay, so resistance of a conductor, we also discussed what are the factors affecting the resistance. So resistance is affected by the length and area, temperature, and it is also depends on nature of the material. Okay na? So by using this we are writing R is equals to rho into L by A, where rho is equals to specific resistance of the conductor. Okay na? And one more important point here, the specific resistance is independent on the dimensions of the conductor. It depends only on nature and temperature of the conductor. Okay, so after that we studied about the how to verify the Ohm's law in experimental way. So in experimental way we draw a circuit by taking the resistor, ammeter, voltmeter, by connecting them in a proper manner. So by changing the voltage or by connecting the two or more cells in the circuit one by one, we are getting the ammeter reading and voltmeter reading. So finally if we are calculating the ratio between voltage and current, is we are getting as a constant. That means this constant value we can take it as R. Okay na? So after that we also studied about the based on the Ohm's law, the classification of the devices. So one is ohmic devices, another one is non-ohmic devices. Sir, what are ohmic devices? So ohmic devices nothing but what? Which obeys the Ohm's law, and non-ohmic devices which do not obey the Ohm's law. That means as current voltage increases or potential difference increases, current also increases in proportion manner. But here with respect to increase in voltage, the current is not increases in a proportion manner. So we also plot the graph between voltage and current in a case of a ohmic devices, and voltage and current in a case of a non-ohmic devices. In a case of a ohmic devices, the graph is a straight line, but here the graph is a curved line. So for non-ohmic devices, the graph between V and I depends on the nature of the non-ohmic device. Sir, what are the examples for the ohmic devices? So examples for the ohmic devices, all metals are comes under the group of ohmic devices, and in the same way semiconductors, so thermistor, electrolyte, so these are all comes under the group of the non-ohmic devices. And the importance of the voltage and current graph, from the slope of the voltage and current graph we can find the resistance. Resistance R is equals to V2 minus V1 by I2 minus I1, where V2 I2 nothing but what? The points on the graph. On a straight line we have to take the 2 points, and this will be I2 and this is V2, and this is I1 and V1. So we are going to use this formula to find the resistance. Okay na? And then if there is no coordinates are given, if the coordinates are not mentioned on the graph, directly if they mention angle, so if the angle is mentioned we can use M, slope is equals to tan theta. Okay na? So tan theta gives resistance. I gave the values of tan theta also. Theta value 0, 30, 45, 60 degree, 90 degree. For these values, tan values will be like this: 0, 1 by root 3, 1, root 3, and infinity. So these are the values of tan for different theta values. Mostly they are going to give based on these values only, tan 30 or 45, 60, 90 only they are going to ask. Okay na? So these are the concepts and what we have discussed in the last session. So today we are going to discuss about the grouping of resistors. Sir, what is mean by grouping? Grouping nothing but connecting. So connecting the resistors. So how many ways we can connect the resistors and what are the values of effective resistance in different combinations. So mainly here we are going to discuss about two kinds of the combination of resistors. One is series combination and the other one is parallel combination. Sir, what is series combination and what is parallel combination? I will explain. Okay, so take the notes and write as it is. Okay, na? So for suppose three resistors are given to you. Okay, three resistors of resistances R1, R2, R3 are given. Okay, na? So this is end 1, end 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So if I am joining these resistors, second end of the first resistor is connected to first end of the second resistor. Okay, in the same way, second end of the second resistor is connected to first end of the third resistor. Like that, if you are continuously joining the resistors, this combination is known to be series combination. Okay, na? So in series simply we can say 2 to 1, 2 to 1 connection. 2 to 1 connection. Okay, and then parallel combination. Sir, what is parallel combination? So parallel combination is nothing but 1 to 1 connection. That means all first terminals or first ends are connected to one common point, second ends are connected to another common point. Okay, now 1 1 1 2 2 2. Okay, now so all one first ends are connected to one common point, second ends are connected to another common point. Okay, now one more important point I want to say here, when we are connecting this to a cell like this. Okay, so once we close the key, so what will happen? The current starts flowing in the circuit. So when current starts flowing in the circuit, for suppose I is the current in the circuit amount. So I nothing but what? The flow of electrons in a unit time is known to be electric current. So there is no deviation. That means how many number of electrons are passing through the resistor 1, the same number of electrons are passing through the resistor 2, and same number of electrons are passing through the resistor 3. That means in series combination the current in each resistor will be same, that is I. This point you should remember. Okay, na? But whereas in a case of a parallel combination, so once the current reaches to the junction, so then how many paths for the flow of current? Three different paths we can see. So now the current is splits, the electrons are splitting, that's why the current is going to be split. Okay, na? So current is deviating. That means current value we can write I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, na? So one more important point here. So regarding with the potential drop. So when current I passes through it, across this potential we can write I1 R1, across this I2 R2, and across this I3 R3. That means the potentials are different at different resistors, but the total potential is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, na? But in parallel combination, if we see in parallel combination, so in parallel combination the current is dividing but not the voltage. So voltage V1 is equals to V2 is equals to V3, that is equals to V. That means potential difference across each resistor will be same in parallel, and current is same in each resistor in series. So this is the explanation about the series and parallel combination. So these are the basic points. So draw the figure as it is. You can mention the 2 points here carefully. So in series there is no deviation of the current. That means current 1, current 2, current 3. That means current across the resistor 1, resistor 2, resistor 3 will be same. I1, I2, I3 equals to 1, and what potential will be divides because the resistance is different. Even though the current is same, resistance is different. That's why the potential is also different. Potential drop will be V1, V2, V3, that is equals to sum V1 plus V2 plus V3. But whereas in parallel combination, so parallel combination nothing but 1 1 2 2 common. That means all one ends are connected to one common point, next ends are connected to another common point. So when we close the key, the current passes, the current will be deviating in three paths. Therefore I1, I2, I3, but potential drop across each cell, each resistor will be same as potential across the cell amount. If the potential of cell is V, then potential drop across the first resistor is V, and the second resistor is V, and the third resistor is also V. Potential drop is same. So these are the basic points. Now let us keep the heading for series combination of resistors. Okay na? So series combination of resistors, I am clearing this. If you want, you can pause the video and you can copy in your notes. Okay na? Everyone has to copy, and after listening to the class you have to send the notes. Okay, let's keep the heading for series combination of resistor hyphen effective resistance. Series combination of resistors hyphen effective resistance. Let's keep the heading. Series combination of resistors effective resistance. Very important concept. Again, in examination they are going to ask derive the expression for effective resistance in series combination and effective resistance in parallel combination. Write down. So what I am writing on the screen, the same you have to copy in your notes. So consider three resistors of resistances R1, R2 and R3 are connected in series to a cell of EMF or potential difference V with help of a key as shown in figure. The same you can copy in your notes. Okay na? Right. So what is the figure for this? You draw this figure. So R1, R2, R3. So V, right. So when key is closed, so what will happen? I is the current flowing. current I starts flowing in the circuit. Okay na? Right. So this is I1, I2, I3. Right. In series, I1 is equals to I2 is equals to I3, that is equals to I, equation number 1. I told you how it will be. Okay na? Right. Next. So but what happens in a case of a potential drop? So here the potential drop will be V1. V1 is equals to, we can write I1 R1, and across 2 V2 is equals to I2 R2, across 3 V3 is equals to I3 R3. Why? From Ohm's law we can write V is equals to IR. So potential drop is depends on the resistance also. Even current remains same, but resistance is not same. So which has the more resistance across the resistor will be, potential drop will be more. Okay na? So that will be is equals to what? V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Right. Okay na? Next, potential drop across resistor 1, we can write V1 is equals to I1 R1. Next, potential difference across resistor 2, V2 is equals to I2 R2. Next, across 3, V3 is equals to I3 R3. Next, net V is equals to IRS. RS nothing but effective resistance in series. Now substitute equation number 3, 4, 5 and 6 in 2. IRS is equals to I1 R1 plus I2 R2 plus I3 R3. So IRS, I we can take common because I1, I2, I3 will be same, since I1 is equals to I2 is equals to I3, that is equals to 1. So that is equals to I. So I get cancelled on both sides. Therefore RS is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. That is, we can say in series effective resistance. This statement is very important. Effective resistance is equals to sum of individual resistances of resistors. It's a very important statement. In series, the effective resistance is equal to sum of individual resistances of resistors. So once again I am recalling this. So the way of derivation. So we are taking three resistors of resistances R1, R2, R3 connected in series with the help of a cell and key. When we are closing the key, the current I starts flowing in the circuit, but we know that in series combination there is no deviation of the electron. That's why the same current is passing through each and every appliance. Therefore in series combination I1, I2, I3 equals to I, and the potential will be divides. Okay now. So for suppose if we are connecting 20 volts of cell, and across this 10, across this 3, across this 7, like that it will be divided somehow. So based on the resistance values it is going to be divided. Okay now. the net will be is equal to EMF of the cell. So by using Ohm's law, we are writing V1 is equal to I1 R1, V2 is equal to I2 R2, V3 is equal to I3 R3, and R effective is equal to V effective, we can write IRS. Now I am substituting 3, 4, 5, 6 in equation number 2. We are getting RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. That means in series combination, effective resistance will be more than the any resistance in the circuit amount. Okay na? Sir, if n number of resistors are connected, write down. If resistances, sorry, if resistors of resistances, if resistors of resistances R1, R2, R3 and so on, Rn are connected in series, therefore Rs we can write R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus Rn. So this is next. Sir, for suppose if n number of equal resistances, if n number of resistors, each of resistance capital R, that means we have n number of resistors, each resistance is same. Okay na? Resistance capital R connected in series, therefore R effective, R plus like that till n times. Okay na? Therefore simply we can write Rs is equal to NR. So this is the effective resistance. Okay na? So after this we have to discuss, sir, how much current is flowing in the circuit. Okay na? Right. We can write current in the circuit. Next point, current in the circuit. Okay, what we have connected, 3 resistors we connected among R1, R2, R3 to a cell of potential difference V. So we know that current formula from Ohm's law, V is equal to IR we can write, then I is equal to V by R we can write. This is for only one resistor. In case of one resistor we can write, but here the resistors in series, group of resistors are there, that's why we can take effective resistance in series. So what is the formula for effective resistance in series? R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, now substitute this in above expression, therefore current in series combination V is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, or simply we can write I is equal to net EMF by net resistance. This is a general formula. Which combination is used, that effective resistance we can use here. I is equal to net EMF by net resistance. So current is same, but not the potential drop. Potential drop is different, V1, V2, V3. So now can we write V1, V2, V3 values here? They will ask compulsory PD across resistor 1 So what we can write, V1 is equals to I1 R1, but I1 is equals to I2 is equals to I3, that is equals to I only. So we can replace this I by R1 V1. So V1, substitute I value, V by R1 plus R2 plus R3 times of R1. That's it. This is PD across resistor 1. Next we can also write PD across resistor 2. Similarly we can write V by RS into R2. Am I correct? RS nothing but effective resistance in series. Next V3 we can write V by RS into R3. That's it. These are the potential drops across the different resistors in the circuit. Okay na? So this is in a case of a 3 resistors. For suppose, right, case you can write for a circuit of 2 resistors. For a circuit of 2 resistors we will write. Most of the cases we are using this kind of only. So for a circuit of 2 resistors, R1, R2, it is important application. So current is same, I, V1, V2, and this is Vm. So can I write I1 is equals to I2, therefore V1 by R1 is equals to V2 by R2. Can I write like this? Since I is equals to V by R, therefore V1 by V2 is equals to R1 by R2. That means potential drop across the resistors is divides as proportion to the resistance amount. If the resistance is more, then potential drop is also more. Okay na? Right. So this is a division of the potentials. If you want to write V1, we can write R1 by R2 V2. Okay, now V2 if you want to write R2 by R1 into V1. So first we can find the ratio amount. V1 V2 ratio we can find. In that we are calculating the resistances. Okay, so this is the session. So in next class we are going to discuss about the parallel combination of the resistors and how the current is divides in the resistors. Okay now, so here you can write one point in series. So make the notes, write as it is. The way of writing the classwork should be same as me only. So how I written here in the same format you have to write them. If you want you can pause the video and take some time and you can write it. Okay na? So today we discussed so what is series combination of resistor and what is the effective resistance. Okay, so how the current is distributing, how the potential is distributing in different resistors we studied. Okay, take care, bye.